Good morning. It's a great day for devotion. My ask is always the same: comment, post, reshare so this message can reach more people, because we know that everybody needs to hear God's word. So today's date is the 13th, and we're going to read from Jesus Calling. Come to me and rest. Give your mind a break from its habitual judging. You form judgments about this situation, that situation, this person, that person, yourself, even the weather, as if judging were your main function in life. But I created you first and foremost to know me and live in rich communication with me. When you become preoccupied with passing judgment, you assert my role. Usurp. Relate to me as creature to creator, sheep to shepherd, subject to king, clay to potter. Allow me to have my way in your life. Rather than evaluating my ways with you, accept them thankfully. The intimacy I offer you is not an invitation to act as if you were my equal. Worship me as King of Kings while walking hand in hand with me down the path of life. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. Matthew 7:1. So I am a habitual, as the author says, a habitual judger. I was always looking at people, and I notice a lot of things. I just notice very small details, which I think is a curse. I don't think that's a good thing. And so I would be the first to look at somebody and say, I don't like their hair. Why are they wearing those clothes? And so on and so on. And I never really understood how I would ever be able to break that. And I would pray about it, and I would say, like, these thoughts, I cannot control these thoughts. They just come into my head. And so it really wasn't until I started to get present in my own life and really start to rewire my brain, if you will, and start to really examine what I allow to come into my head and my heart. And what I learned is once I cleared out all the noise and I went through all my mental health stuff and just really examine how precious the mind is and how precious thoughts are, that I wanted to protect the mind. And so if someone was walking down the street and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they wearing? I would stop myself. Like, this was a very intentional practice. And I would say, you know what? You don't know anything about that person. And that person, I would always say, that person is a child of God. That person has a mother, that has a father. And, who are you to judge? And so I had to call myself out on so many things. And to be honest, some days it seems like that's all I did. And I had to be very careful, because you don't want to shame yourself. So you don't want to turn this, into a negative bashing of yourself. Like, oh my gosh, you're an awful human. But it was really just recognizing the thought and reversing the thought. So if it was a negative thought, I would try to find a way to make it positive. And I am just so amazed at the mind and the way God works, because I was able to change that. I was able to reverse it in the same way of, like, being involved with gossip and all the things that I did not. The sins that I defended were the sins that I really had to pay attention to. If I was defensive about a sin, I knew, because it hit home. And so you really have to open yourself up to be vulnerable and to really call yourself out. And I'm just so amazed that judgments aren't a part of my life anymore. And gossip makes my skin crawl, that I try to remove myself from the situation. I'm not perfect, so please don't take that, because we're all sinners. And that still does happen. But I can recognize it, and I can ask God for forgiveness, and I can try and reverse that pattern. And so you can do that too. But I don't know that I could have done it without shutting my mind off and really saying, Carrie, this is not, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can pass judgment? Who do you think you are that you can talk about somebody else? Who do you think you are? But do it in a mindset of love and wanting to be better. Don't be judged, or you too will be judged. Matthew 7:1. I hope you have a great weekend. You know I love you. I know this is just such a great group of people, and I'm so appreciative that you're here. So God bless.